We've got the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Broncos' first preseason game against the Indianapolis Colts. Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for August 12th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel V. Hill.
The final from Indianapolis, Broncos 34, Colts 30. Now, the score doesn't really matter because it's everything that happened on the field. And Bo Nix did not disappoint in his debut. In fact, a lot of people are calling him to be the starter already, but there was some sloppiness, turnovers, early offensive penalties. Those must be cleaned up by the time the Broncos take the field in Seattle. 2 quick passes to Courtland Sutton and Tim Patrick had the Broncos on the move early, rocking with Jared Stidham and into Indianapolis Colts territory. Then Patrick's celebration got in the face of Indianapolis's Jalen Jones, and back went the Broncos 15 yards after the infraction, which we're going to get into this on coffee break. Was it a bit of a weak call? Tim Patrick obviously excited after missing 2 seasons to get back out there on the field and get his first catch. We're going to dive into if we thought it was a soft call or not. But then we saw a Courtland Sutton false start infraction immediately after that. And again, right tackle Mike McGlinchey, or as I call him, Mike McFlinchy, transpired 3 plays later. Now, does this have an impact on how a lot of people were looking at how Jarrett Stidham played? Maybe a little bit, because things didn't seem to be under control when he was out there on the field. But Stidham had other things to say. Take a listen.
Yeah, honestly, I thought we moved the ball really well. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot, mainly those first 2 drives with penalties and that sort of thing. But, I mean, a lot of good, I thought. Obviously, we'll take a look at the film and get better from it, and obviously clean up the penalties. Like I said, that was probably the biggest thing. But thought we were pretty efficient there, pretty early on. Obviously, just the penalties, we gotta figure that out for sure.
Overall, he did look good, but Bo Nix really did not disappoint in his NFL debut. And this is where things get a little bit interesting is, did Bo Nix jump Jarrett Stidham now to be that number 1 QB? Bo Nix finished 15 of 21 for 125 yards and a touchdown. Denver scored on 4 of the 5 possessions of Nix, getting 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. Nix also had 3 carries for 17 yards and looked quick. And then the other one, the 4 of the 5, the number 5, was a Kroll fumble, which wasn't exactly on Bo Nix at all. But Sean Payton went on to say, it was great to see the in the game setting. We've seen it in practice, so it wasn't alarming or surprising. That was pretty much all that Sean Payton had to say about the quarterbacks. Not really giving too much praise for Bo Nix, but hey, Mike McGlinchey, he was willing to praise Bo Nix in the locker room yesterday. Take a listen.
I thought he did great, just like he has been, all training camp. I think he's incredibly mature and collected and understands his role, and I think he's done a great job with the way he's handled everything. I think he's shown gradual improvement and at times really great improvement all throughout this training camp, and I think today was no exception. He played his balls off out there, and I'm just proud of him and excited to see where he can go.
So you let me know, who are you feeling should be the quarterback of the Denver Broncos? Of course, we still have 2 more preseason games, so don't get too ahead of yourself. But Zach Wilson also did not look bad yesterday. Granted, he was going up against the 3rd string guys out there, but he didn't look bad. Jarrett Stidham didn't look bad. Bo Nix looked really good. But did Bo Nix look good because people were expecting him to falter and to be a rookie and to look like a rookie? Maybe a little bit, but he definitely looked like a veteran out there once he got calmed down too. And I know a lot of people are starting to believe in the quarterback. So we're excited to see, of course, what ends up happening. No training camp practices for the next 2 days, but back on Wednesday, we will be out there to see what Sean Payton has to, of course, say. Okay, let's go on to some injuries now, because Lucas Kroll, who appeared to be factoring into the Broncos tight end rotation along with the first teamers, Adam Troutman, pass catcher Greg Dulcich, and versatile tight end Nate Adkins, suffered a toe injury during the Broncos preseason game against the Indianapolis Colts. The injury brought an end to what would have been a notable day for the second-year tight end who joined the Broncos last year after the New Orleans Saints waived him at the roster deadline. Kroll caught 4 passes, all from Bo Nix. Nix wasted no time getting Kroll involved. He caught consecutive 16-yard passes to launch a successful 2-minute drive that ended in a 27-yard Will Lutz field goal. Also, another notable one, it stinks, obviously, that Lucas Kroll has this toe injury. Hopefully, it won't sideline him for too long, but cornerback Art Green also left Sunday's game late in the 3rd quarter and was being evaluated for a possible concussion. So just a few updates for you on the injury front. Like I said, hopefully for Lucas Kroll, we'll see him back out there sooner rather than later, as well as Art Green. Okay. Moving on now, because we're staying in the NFL, but we're going to go to somebody in the AFC West. The Kansas City Chiefs. In case you somehow missed this, because it was everywhere over the weekend, one of their key offseason acquisitions was injured during Saturday's preseason opener. You probably got an ESPN notification for it. If you were watching NFL Network for the Broncos game, then you saw it almost every single commercial because they had it on the lower bar. Wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown was injured on the very first play of the game, landing on his left shoulder as he was tackled on an 11-yard gain. Head coach Andy Reid said Brown would miss some time, but didn't give a timeline for his return. The Chiefs signed Brown this offseason with hopes of making him a key part of their passing game. So just a notable thing in case you are looking to hopefully pick him up for your fantasy, but also it's going to be a long time before the Broncos will be facing the Chiefs. Obviously not until November. We will see the first matchup between those two teams, but always noticeable to know what's going on with anybody in the AFC West. Okay, we are sticking in the NFL yet again, but this time we're going to the San Francisco 49ers. And the New Orleans Saints, we talked about this. They were supposed to have a scheduled joint practice for later this week. Well, it is in fact canceled because the Niners are dealing with multiple injuries. Get ready for this. San Francisco coach Kyle Shanahan was in contact with New Orleans counterpart Dennis Allen throughout the weekend and decided on Sunday that the Niners didn't have enough healthy players to pull off a successful joint practice. Shanahan said the Niners had about 23 players who were unable to practice last week because of various injuries. 23 guys who were banged up after just a few short weeks of training camp. So that's a little harsh to hear that kind of thing. I was nervous about some of the Broncos injuries. You know, we saw Levi Wallace and Brandon Jones and a few other guys dealing with injuries, but 23 guys, that is definitely a handful of them. So yes, unfortunately, we're not going to see any joint practices between the two of those, but their teams will play their second preseason game on Sunday at Levi Stadium. Okay, to the Olympics we go because you guys, it's over. I'm so sad about this. It honestly breaks my heart. It was so much fun to be able to watch it, but it was also fun to see the USA women's basketball team pulled out a victory in the gold medal game against France. The hard-fought back-and-forth game concluded with a score of 67-68. With the win, the Team USA women's basketball team has now won 8 consecutive gold medals at the Olympics Games. So congratulations to them. Over to the track field we will go because Team USA won a pair of golds on Saturday in the 4x400 meter race. And then we also have the men's basketball final, which Team USA defeated France 98-87. It was a very competitive game featuring an incredible performance late in the fourth quarter from none other than Stephen Curry. He had the Olympic Games of his life, and he finally showed up. He led the team with 24 points, which included some clutch three-pointers in the fourth quarter. We've all seen him do it in the NBA. It's no surprise that he would do it on one of the biggest stages. It's the 8th men's basketball gold medal for Team USA. And then that doesn't stop there. The U.S. women's soccer team won the gold medal at the Paris Olympics Games on Saturday as well. They defeated Brazil in a hard-fought 1-0 game with Mallory Swanson scoring the winning goal and goalkeeper Alyssa Nair coming up with a number of clutch saves. It's the 5th time the U.S. women's soccer team has won Olympic gold, but it's the first time winning honor since 2012. There were plenty of celebrities in the stands, including Tom Cruise and Megan Rapinoe as well. So yes, we love to see that. Congratulations to all that won gold. And we have to look at our final Olympic medal count because the U.S., they do end up on top, but tied with China for 40 gold medals, 44 silver, and 42 bronze, but total 126 medals across. So congratulations to all of the athletes out there in Paris. And hopefully they all get home nice and safe. And to everybody, it was such a joy to be able to watch everything. And then in case you didn't know, there are some new sports coming to the next Olympics in LA. We got baseball and softball, flag football, lacrosse, cricket, and squash. And in case you're just like me and you have no idea what squash is, it's very similar to racquetball. You serve the ball to your opponent and try to win the rally or have your opponent unable to return the ball. The ball is bouncier in racquetball compared to squash and is much faster. It's easier to hit the ball because of the bounce. So just a little Olympics preview for you guys for 2028. Let's get into some of your comments because I know you guys were super excited about obviously everything with Bo Nix, as was I. But really good stuff. Let's see. Penalties and turnovers, OMG. No kidding. OMG is the correct way to put it. I couldn't believe how undisciplined it seemed like so early on in the game. And I know Sean Payton was not happy with it. They will definitely get that kind of stuff cleaned up. But yes, I'm okay with it happening now. let it happen now. Let the players get it all out when it doesn't mean anything. And then hopefully week 1 in Seattle, Sean Payton has them scared enough that they won't go out there and do any taunting plays. Okay. Let's see. Broncos not looking boring is exciting. Isn't that the truth? It was so fun. So fun to be able to watch them move down the field. Let's see. Happy Monday, Rachel. Defense as a whole and offensive line needs a lot of work. C- for both. Offensive line, for how much money they have put into it, is still continuing to struggle. They should be producing at a very, very high level, and it just feels like they are not there yet. I don't know why, to be completely honest. They've all worked together multiple times. Obviously, you got Luke Wattenberg in at center, so it's like he's the only new guy, but everybody else around them should be able to carry their own weight. And for some reason, it's just not adding up. And then, the defense overall did not look very good, which is kind of concerning because out at training camp, it feels like the defense has been winning every single day, but feels like everything switched when you finally were able to see the offense fully unload on it. Let's see. Bo was solid, but wasn't to see him develop all for next a good small sample size. It was a small sample size. We're not trying to get too ahead of ourselves. And I know our guest on Coffee Break today, because it is Merrilat Monday, is definitely going to let everybody in Broncos country know that it was a small sample size. Yes, it was really good to see him succeed, but let's not name him starter right away. In case you did not read his article over at denversports.com, go read it, because I guarantee that's what I'm going to be talking to him about today and asking him, James, why can't we just get on the train of Bo Nick? So we will do that. Okay. Definitely reason for optimism, 100%. It has been so much fun to see him succeed and just see how close it was at training camp day in and day out. And then for him really to take that next step, right? Everybody was talking about the fact that Bo Nix is a rookie. Is he going to go out there? Is he going to look like a rookie? Bo Nix is going to be the talk of the NFL today, everybody. So enjoy it, Broncos country. We're lucky to be back in this spot. He looked fantastic. He looked like he was having fun. He looked comfortable out there. And to be honest, that's all you can ask for a rookie in a preseason game. Yes, he did end up going against the twos in some areas, and that's where he looked a little bit better, obviously, but there's optimism, and that's all we can ask for now. Let's see. Okay, that's going to do it, you guys. I appreciate all of your comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Merrilat Monday, come chill, talk with James and I about the Broncos. How are you feeling about the quarterback situation? Sean Payton not really praising any of the quarterbacks. We'll get into all of that, and Lucas Kroll as well. I appreciate you guys so much, and we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Denver Sports Daily. Bye, everyone.